One positive development of the trade war going on with Canada and the United States, at least, is a lot of Canadians have suddenly realized how vulnerable we are because our oil and gas products can't get to Tidewater. We need pipelines. Finally, after years and years of Alberta asking for it, 75% of Canadians suddenly support pipelines coast to coast. Okay, I don't care why they support it. I'm just happy they do. But we got to get them built fast because we know the ideological opponents are going to fight this as hard as they can. Even the majority in Quebec is now willing to support a pipeline across there. So let's get it done. So one of the things to help make the case for that, people need to put into perspective, because a lot of people don't necessarily understand what a pipeline actually, the impact of it or what it is. So I want to compare it to something else that people never think twice about. I'm standing on a road. Not even a really big road, it's a relatively small road. Think about roads like this. Now, Canada has actually over 1.1 million kilometers of roadways. Lots and lots of roads. This ground all had to be dug up. It had to have a base built. Cars now drive on it. Unfortunately, animals get hit on it now and then. Particulate dust, things come up from it. It has an impact on the environment, and it's an ongoing impact. Plus, these roads have to cross things like creeks and rivers, as it does here. It had to be bridged, which again has an impact. Stuff gets into the creek, and we try to mitigate it. Nobody is saying that we've got to ban roads. They don't think twice about that. Yet when you look at it, a road in a beautiful little area like near my house here has quite an impact on it. Now, for comparison, 3 major natural gas transmission lines. They're right here. You see them? No? It just looks like grazing land, farmland, agricultural land, houses right in front of it. Well, that's what pipelines look like, guys. They're buried. And then the land is used on top of them. It's perfectly functional. The way you can tell, if you turn around, you can see the signs on the side of the road. TransCanada Energy. These are major lines, actually. They go all the way up and down Alberta. They just did some construction on this one. You can see the new fencing there. So, I mean, you can see how reclaimed that ground was after they did the construction on it. So which has more impact on the environment? These roads with the cars driving up and down them? Or these pipelines where you can't even tell if there was a line there? Like, that's the reality of what we got to look like. People talk about leaks. Well, guys, here's another fact. In Canada, there's over 840,000 kilometers of buried pipes. You might not realize it. You walk over them all the time. You drive next to them all the time. They're in your cities. They're in the country. They're underground. They're safe. They very rarely leak, particularly the new modern ones. So just when the time comes, and it's going to come, we're going to try and get an energy utility corridor going across Canada for the sake of the whole country. The opponents are going to go wild. When you're trying to reason with them, just maybe try to get them to think, like, seriously, look at the impacts. They're very minor, more minor than roads. So let's get those things buried. Let's get them going. And then Canada will have the economic leverage that it should have in this trade war.